pop out with this wet ass. Look at me, worship me on your knees. Can't you see my panties are filled with big dick energy? I make money and I get dick too.
Is it just me, like, when you're watching YouTube, or like anything that has adverts, and an advert pops up, and it's just like, writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read. It's like, no! I don't want Grammarly! I can write! I can read! I don't need this! And then it has the audacity to be like, are you sure you want to skip this advert? Yes, I'm sure I want to skip it!
I do not understand how people are not afraid of spiders. Like, it has 8 legs and like 20,000 eyes. I saw a spider in my room. You think I'm gonna sleep in there? Nope, I'm moving to Japan. Konnichiwa!
Why is it whenever you just look kind of scruffy and you're going to your local shop, you're wearing like a baggy t-shirt, tracksuit bottoms that barely fit you anymore, and you haven't even brushed your hair? You kind of just look a mess, you know? And then you walk into your shop and then like half your class is there. It's like, why? So you decide to go to another shop. Guess what? The mean girl's there. And then you see the office lady. Please just go home and come back when I'm not.
Parents are another breed. They are not humans, especially moms. I would be looking for my shoes and they would be nowhere to be seen. I checked the first floor, I checked my bedroom, it's literally nowhere. Then I would call my mom to help me find them. And in 2 seconds, she would have found them magically out of nowhere. And then I would be scolded. Like, I checked for 1 hour and could not find anything. And in 2 seconds, she would have found it? It does not make sense. They are not humans.
Teachers be like, oh, you can't wear makeup, you can't wear jewelry, you can't dress how you want, you can't paint your nails, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. And if you live in the UK, you'll know that on the 8th of March, we're going back to school after the lockdown. Over that lockdown, I've been wearing makeup, I've been wearing whatever clothes I want, I've been painting my nails, I've been wearing jewelry. Has it affected my learning in any way? No. And then teachers come back saying like, oh, but we need to set the boundaries somewhere. We'll set the boundaries somewhere. Make boundaries. But like, let teenagers express themselves. Wearing a necklace will not affect my learning. All of a sudden, oh no, I painted my nails white. Oh my god, all of a sudden, wait, what's 2 plus 2? I don't even know. Let me take the nail polish off. Right, now I know what 100 times 1...
I woke up, all of my group chats of my followers had changed their names to RIP this person, and basically it was that this girl had passed away from a brain tumor. Immediately my heart was like broken, and she's a huge supporter, and also she's just a sweet child, and as a person that's a sad thing to hear. But then as I started asking the group chats details about it, I would say, you know, how did you guys find out so quickly? I just talked to her like yesterday, and they were like, her mom DM'd us from her account, and that to me felt weird, because I was like, well, first of all, did her mom know her password? Second of all, if this woman's daughter just passed away, is the first thing she's gonna do is get on Twitter and talk to a bunch of people she doesn't know? Something about this doesn't feel right to me. So then I opened up my DMs, and I got a DM from her later that day from her mother, who was saying, this is such and such's mother. As you may have heard, such and such passed away from brain tumor, and you know, we're really sad, we're really heartbroken, but we just want to let you know that she talked about you a lot, and she really cared about you, and you made a big difference in her life. And at this moment, I'm like, wow, this is devastating. But then the more I read it, the more I'm like, there's a lot of typos in here. This seems like a weird thing that a mother wouldn't say, because it ended with like, you know, even in her final days.
Story time. So this was 2 years ago, and I was at school, and it was a normal day until the principal went on the speaker and said, we're in lockdown, go in your closets. So we went ahead and went in the closets. We were all confused. Some people were scared. Everyone was like kind of asking the teacher what was going on and stuff. Now during this time, I wasn't asking anything or saying anything because I knew during a lockdown you don't want to say anything. So if there is someone in the school, they won't find where you are. But I was still listening to them because I was curious like everyone else. So while everyone was asking the questions, one girl stood up and said, "If you're not going to say what's going on, I'm going to get out of the closet." The teacher yelled at her and told her no. And the teacher yelled loud, so whoever was in the school obviously heard. So the door opened and everyone became silent. And so basically for part 2. Welcome to part 2. Okay, so the guy that came into our school was a prisoner that escaped prison. So he was like, "Where are you?" And he stood in there for at least 10 minutes. Then we thought he left, but he was completely silent, and the teacher gave us a look saying, "Do not talk and do not move." So we all listened to the way he looked, and my best friend, the girl that stood up saying she would leave, got up and left. She thought that the guy was gone and she was going to get a counselor. So as soon as she got out of the room, we heard gunshots. As soon as the gunshots said that, I knew immediately what happened. I started crying and I thought that she was dead. The guy didn't even try to come in the room that we were in, even though he knew where we were. He immediately left knowing that he should have not shot the girl. Wait for part 3. Welcome to part 3. So as soon as the guy left, we got out of the closet and started panicking. We didn't know what to do since she was shot in the head and we knew that she wouldn't make it. So we were all freaking out and so was I, and I was crying and I just couldn't breathe right and I didn't know what to do. The speaker went off saying that the police and the ambulance were coming since the principal heard a gunshot too. So when the police came, they found the guy who was hiding in a locker and he got contained and took into the police office. The ambulance were here and went in the room and took her. They said with their face, saying she would not make it. That was the worst day of my life. So the ambulance took her, and about 2 days later, we weren't allowed to go to the school since the guy was still on the loose. He escaped. So we all had to stay at our homes, and I visited my friend, and I didn't know she died.
My name is Lindsay, and I have a hole in my throat from smoking 50 packs of cigarettes every day. The first time I smoked a cigarette was when I was 17 years old, and I never stopped smoking ever since. I have 2 beautiful girls, Lindsay Jr. and Tiffany. You know, they're out there being successful girls that they should be, and that's what keeps me going every day. I remember the first time the doctor showed me my lungs, and they looked like the ribs I ate last Thanksgiving. My mama said, "Lindsay, don't you let your lungs look like that." And they look like that.
When I was little, I found my mom's credit card, and being a 6-year-old, I saw my mom putting the credit card on her phone, and I knew how she did it. So, I decided that I was going to put it on my phone. So, I put it on my phone, and I was downloading Roblox, because I thought, hey, I can play with my friends here. That day, I spent $2,000 worth of freaking money on Robux. Let's just say, a lot of my friends thought I was really cool and rich. When my mom found out, I hid from her for seriously like a day, and then once I got in there, she wasn't mad. She just said I was Captain Robux.
Have you let anyone borrow your phone before? One woman let her son borrow her phone, but she could have never expected the terrifying things she saw after she got her phone back. So this woman got her new phone and she put it on the kitchen counter and went to watch some TV. That's when her son came in and asked if he could borrow the phone to play with it. The woman didn't think much of it at first, so she agreed, but she could have never known that this would lead to a terrifying discovery. When it was nighttime, she got ready to tuck her son into bed, so she went upstairs to his room, but he wasn't there. Then she ran over to her room and saw him sleeping on her bed with the new phone in his hand. She felt relieved, so she took her phone back and started looking through it. At first, nothing was out of the ordinary. She saw her background had changed, but it wasn't until she saw the photos that she found the horrifying surprise. There were many new photos on her phone that her son took around the house, the front door, the kitchen, and even photos of her taken from the back when she was watching TV. She started deleting these photos until the last one caught her eye. Instantly, she turned around, terrified. It was a photo of her son sleeping in her bed, but it was taken by someone else, someone standing above him, and on the edge of the photo was half of a stranger's.
Okay, I want to watch it.
She's
Hi, I'm going to use text for a bit, but I wanted to talk about this video. If you didn't know already, Maddie and Kenzie Ziegler are sisters and got famous for dancing and taking place in the show Dance Moms. Lots of people have been making edits of this video with James Charles and the Zieglers. As you can clearly see, Kenzie, who is the youngest sister, is being left out, being made fun of. In my opinion, I feel really bad for Kenzie and have always thought she had been the least favorite in everything. But I think this video has also been edited a lot more and has made it much more affected than it is. What do you think? Tag me in vids you want me.
Can someone please explain this to me? I genuinely want to know why people say stuff like, oh, of course it's a Roblox kid, or of course it's a Fortnite kid. Like, I think I know I play Roblox, you don't need to tell me. And what's wrong with it? Yes, I know it's pretty old and out of trend, but does that really matter?
He comes closer to me and grabs my thighs and asks, "May I give you a kiss, miss?" I obviously said yes. And we were making out for like 10 minutes and he asks if we wanted to take it to room. I said yes. We did the deed and it was already late ASF and I was getting sleepy, so I fell asleep in his bed by accident. When the girl woke up, she didn't see me there, so she went to her brother's room to see if he could help look for me. And I was laying there next to him with only a bra and undies and he was shirtless, so she throws a book to wake us up and slaps her brother. I left and then I started dating her brother. He was super sweet, but he never had time for me, but I didn't really care. Now I am the most popular girl in school, and whenever she tries to threaten me by telling everyone I did the deed with her brother, I just say a simple "do it, I dare you. I will make your life a living."
I literally want to cry. So if you didn't know, I have a sister and her name's Ashley, and we both have boyfriends. And every night we both fall asleep on the phone with our boyfriends. So one day we're all hanging out and we're like just talking. And my sister's boyfriend looks at me and he's like, "You need to stop going into your sister's room in the middle of the night." And I look at him and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't have a reason to go into her room. Like, I don't go into her room, especially in the middle of the night." Then my boyfriend hops in the conversation and he's like, no. He's like, "No, I hear Ashley go into Kayla's room every night and stare at her." So me and my sister both look at each other and we're like, we don't go into each other's rooms, do we? And we agreed that we do not. And they said this has been going on for months. So for months, somebody or something has been going into me and my sister's room for about 15 minutes every night and watching us sleep. But it only